The white man is the devil. I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot, they like to claim leadership, they like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above, but they really didn't have authority. But they don't really need that authority, they don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this white ass people, stop and ask you. Give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe. Nigga gotta stand up to serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that bike on me. Boy, the shit stop it. Shit practice. Brother, you serious? Boy, when they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, when the fuck with your leaders, I'm curious. You cashed out on your blood, you traded you in and bought a new beats. Ain't see the prophets, I tell you to speak. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I say you won't tell you no more. I swear this crack is trying to kill us slow. You spoke to a nigga and fed the young on parole because of the COVID. It feel like the host in this world and done with the devil. Nowhere it's golden to get them. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the score never settled. Hey, prophets. Sometimes these niggas keep talking about, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you the prophets. Like we all come together. They say God so loved the world. God so loved the world, and boy, your ass need to stop and ask you. Don't give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe. You gotta stand up and serve my God. We'll pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, y'all pray on our knees, nigga. Stand up. You know what I'm saying? Boy, your ass need to stop and ask shit. Oh, I'm gonna step up silent for show. For the fake niggas, stay silent. I got it, let's go. I ain't taking no loss. Ain't no talking when we on the flow. Ain't no peace, just chemistry. I'm gonna be lost to the right arm. They tell us we can't keep it slave. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got you, baby mother on high. Baby pants through the fire. Ask you the prophets. That may be so below to the Lord. I dare you aboard it. You never will fail, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring them out water. But your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. They ain't need to stop and ask you the prophets.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years. But that's what the church is for, lies. That's why they exist to lie and money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop and ask you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe. Nigga gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga.
All jokes aside, how niggas be like, I'm this and that for life. This and that for life. I'm on this for life, nigga. This is blood oath. And your mother ride. They go class for you, my nigga. 140 for the road.
The world turned its back over. I'm a crippler. We got soldiers. He got soldiers, but I got different ones. Go hell way out. I tell you what. Don't pray for nothing. That's in the curse. We can't forgive what's forbidden. Remain in the trenches. Trust in the Lord. Oh, please forgive me for the times that I.
All right, Shalom Israel. Let's get started. Shalom Israel. Yahweh Shem Shabbat to all the brothers. In Hebrew, that means may Yahweh, who the world calls God, in the name of Christ. Bless you, brothers. And shalom to the sisters. Shalom Yahweh Shema Atham Bashem Yahshai. That means may the Most High watch over you, sisters, in the name of who the world calls Christ. I'm Priest and Officer Shari 1, under Commanding General YAHANNA. All right. I'm Officer 500 Shari 1, under Commanding General YAHANNA, and we are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, which was started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We are the only place on earth authorized to teach the Bible. The priests and prophets of the Most High are back here on the earth as the Most High commanded it. We are here teaching the truth to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who are the true children of God, who are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. For too long, for damn near 500 years, living over here in North and South Central America, We've been told that we're niggers, spics, wetbacks, Jamaican, Haitian, Dominican, Cuban, all these different bywords that have been put on our people, not knowing what our nationality is according to the Bible. You have blacks living in Canada calling themselves Haitian, Haiti meaning the land of hell. You understand? That's a place where your oppressor was beating the black off of you over in the Caribbean islands. That is not your nationality. You are not Haitian. You're not Jamaican, which is a Spanish word for wood and water. These are not who you are. You understand? You actually descend from somebody. And in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we are giving our culture back to our people. All right? This is Thursday's night. All right, No Cows Canada. Thursday nights, we're going to be teaching Lashawan Qadash. Lashawan Qadash, meaning the holy tongue in Hebrew. All right, that is a language that we spoke before slavery, before going into captivity in Greece, before going under the Roman captivity, Persian captivity, Babylonian captivity. When we read the records of the Bible, we read our history. We read where our forefathers were living, what they did, how they dwelt with their wives, what they taught their sons, their daughters. The Bible is a history book of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right? And so we're giving our language back to our people. So every Thursday night, we're going to be teaching it from 7 till 9 p.m. All right? We're going to be learning the language of our ancestors. All right? There's tradition in the I.S.U.P.K. To start off going over our alphabet. All right, just like you teach a child, the first thing you're going to teach them, right? If you're teaching them English, you teach them ABCs, right? You teach them their alphabet, and then you teach them how to pronounce those characters or those letters. All right, that way they can start to form sentences, start to form words, and start to form or just reading in general. All right. So, matter of fact, we can start off getting in a verse. All right. Slovakia. If you were to ask a Christian today what their nationality is, they're going to tell you that they're a child of God. Right? They're not going to tell you their identity. They're not going to tell you their culture, the man that they descend from. Right? If you jump to the book of Deuteronomy, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 7. Right? Reading out of our history book. In Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 7, it says, remember the days of old. You understand? If you're Black, Hispanic, or Native American, this is a commandment from God. Right? I know your pastor likes to tell you that the laws of God are done away with. You understand? He tells you to throw away the book of Genesis to the book of Micah, right? Or Malachi. Telling you that these stories don't mean anything. But yet he's going to sit there and tell you that this is how God created the heavens and earth. Pastors pick and choose when to use the Old Testament. Pastors pick and choose when to speak about David and Goliath and when it suits them. Pastors will tell you that you need to pay your tithes, meanwhile telling you that the laws of God are done away with. But when we go to the law in Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 7, it says, remember the days of old. Right? If you're Black, Hispanic, or Native American, you got to remember the days of old. It's important. All right? It's important what your fathers did. Just like we're in Canada, we see all these statues of Christopher Columbus. Right? You go to their school systems, you learn about their history, about what all the Romans conquered and all the great things that the Spanish people did. This is something that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans need to do as well. We need to commemorate our forefathers, our ancestors, the things they did, the great things they did, the things that helped them to rise as a nation, the things they did to fall as a nation. That way we can learn and grow from it. right? It says, remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy fathers, and he will show thee. Thy elders, and they will tell thee, right? Ask your fathers where they came from. Ask them how they got over to North and South Central America. Ask them what they were doing before slavery. You understand? This way you can start to learn about your history and your culture. These things are important. Ask them what God they served, what language they spoke, right? All these things are important because this is what gives an identity to a people who suffer from low self-esteem, right? This class is very important because how many blacks grow up watching BET and listening to Blackstreet, listening to Notorious B.I.G., right? Painting our people in a certain light of always gang banging, treating our women a certain way, right? Sleeping with our women, throwing them away, going after every Black, Hispanic, and Native American in the world, pouring out our sisters, right? Look at Megan Thee Stallion and what's that other sister's name? Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B. You understand? Look at how they present themselves. And these are the role models, right, for our youth, right, for our people, right? Salaki, one moment. All right, Salakia. So as I was saying, like these are the people that are our role models for our younger generation, right? We're a people with low self-esteem because we don't know who we are. This is why we have to learn our language, right? Learn our culture, right? Learn how we spoke. So we're gonna get into our alphabet, right? Starting off is the alphabet of the Lashawan Qadash. All right, we don't have letters, we have characters. All right, beginning with the Alaf. All right. We have an Alaf and we have a Bayat. All right. In the Hebrew, each of these characters means something. All right. These are images. This is a representation of something. Right. For example, that first Alaf character, right? This is actually the picture of a cow's head, all right, or an ox head. Right? If you were to flip it around, let's say like this, right? You draw yourself a little cow, right? This is where that Alaf comes from, okay? This Alaf character, it represents strength, right? In Israel, we use cattle and different things for our farming and cultivation, right, of our crops. So that ox character that we have, or that ox that we had and used for farming, right, he was able to carry a heavy load, right, when he was doing his tilling and different things like that of the land. So this Allah character represents strength, represents power, all right? It represents the first, right, an authority, something strong, something powerful, all right? And then the next character that we have, right, this Bayath character, this is the image of a house, okay? You almost want to think of it today if you were, let's say you do blueprint reading, okay? If you do blueprint reading, you understand these different images that we have in blueprints. Well, this is like the picture, picture this like looking down at a blueprint, okay? And this is showing you the image of like a tent and a door kind of thing, but this is the image of a house, okay? And this is the image that we use for our house. So now, when we do the Hebrew, right, small thing understanding Hebrew, we go right to left for everything. So we have this ox, and then we have a house, right? So if you put the ah and the ba together, right, we form the first Hebrew word that we have in the Lashawan Qadash. Okay? So the Lashawan Qadash is a little different from languages like English, where they just put letters together and they give definitions to words. In the Hebrew, right, we put the ox head and the house together, right? And we have these little connectors which let us know what syllables to use when we're pronouncing the word. So we put an ah and a ba together, right? We form the first Hebrew word, which is Abba. Okay? And Abba in Hebrew means father. All right? Now, where this word comes from, father, which they have bastardized, like every other culture, basically being culture vultures, stealing the culture of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? We've damn near invented everything. We invented language, right? We're the best dancers on earth, singers on earth. We have some of the greatest inventions, right, that this earth has ever seen, right? These people took this word father from us, right? Abba. And what Abba means in the Hebrew, you have strength, power, and you have house. So Abba can translate to the strength of a house. You understand? That's who a father is, right? That father is an authority figure. He's a protector, a guardian, leader, right, of his household, of his wife, of his kids, everybody that falls under him, right? The Most High commanded Adam and Eve to separate from their parents and create their own household, right? Which, side note, if you want to learn to cut a Christian, Adam and Eve couldn't be the first people on earth because they were commanded to separate from their mother and their father and start their own family. This is why we have to come to the I.S.U.P.K to learn the truth of the Bible, right? Learn what the Most High really wanted us to know. That way we can fully understand things. Okay, but Abba is strength of the house. All right, that's what that word means. Each of our characters have meaning. They represent something. And that's how we form our words in Hebrew. All right. All right, so let's get through the whole alphabet. We got Abba, Ga. All right, I'll put up all the characters. All right, if you're tuned in, it's good to take notes. All right, that way you can learn the language. All right, just like you would if you were in class. This is a class. This is a free class for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right, we're not charging you to learn your language, to learn your culture. You want to take notes and you want to practice. Okay, so we got Abba, Ga, Da, Ha, Waza, Ka, Ta, Ya, Kalama, Nasa, I, Pa, Taza, Kwa, Ra, Shah, and a Tha. Okay. These are the 23. Is it 23? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Sorry, we got 22 characters in the Lashawan Qadash. All right. These are all of our characters that form all of our words. All right, here's an example of the Thara, which they would say in modern Hebrew, Torah. Right, here's an example of the Torah, or the Thara, okay? And this is what reading our language looks like, okay? So these are all 22 characters. Now something else that we also teach, all right, which is important to learn, all right, if you're Black, Hispanic, or Native American, all right, you want to study a little more, all right, study our culture a little more. It's important to learn the Assyrian Hebrew, okay? Okay, this is called Assyrian Hebrew. Now, there was a time like we're in today where Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans disobeyed our power, okay, the Most High. And when you read through the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, you'll see how the Most High told us that we would be a blessed people for obeying him, or we would be cursed for disobeying him. One of our curses of disobeying our power and not keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments, one of those curses is captivity, is slavery, right? There was a time the nation of Israel, right, like today, where we went in slavery under the Spaniards, the Romans, right? These are the people known as the nation of Edom. Okay, these are the Edomites according to the Bible. They put us in slavery, right? They enslaved us. Now, there was another time where we went into a Babylonian captivity. And during that time, we picked up a different form of Hebrew, which is why when we read the Bible and we read our history books, the records of our people, we have a boatload of books written in Assyrian Hebrew, okay? So if you want to further study and learn your culture a little bit better, it's important to learn the Assyrian, okay? Now in the Assyrian, every character here translates into that Assyrian Hebrew, okay? Because Assyrian Hebrew comes from our language, comes from the Lashawan Qadash, okay? Every language on earth comes from the Lashawan Qadash, okay? So it's important to learn this. That way we know how to translate the Assyrian Hebrew back to our original language, okay? So we have this first character, right? Again, this is an alaf, okay? It means the exact same thing as this character up here, okay? It means strength, power, right? Authority, the first, okay? It means the same thing, it's just drawn differently, okay? So we have A, Ba, Ga, okay? And another thing, we also pronounce these the same as this, Okay? Don't confuse what the people who are living in Israel today, those Edomites who are living in the land of Israel today, don't confuse their pronunciation for being real Hebrew. Okay? We don't say garbage like Yisrael. Okay? This is not our language. Okay? This is the language of a German people. Okay? It's a Germanic language. Okay? We call it Yiddish. If you ask those people who live in Israel today, who's your grandfather, they know. They'll tell you he was German. He was German. He was Polish. That is who those people are. They don't descend from a man named Abraham, Isaac, or Jacob. Okay? So these characters, we pronounce them the same. Okay? We just draw them out differently. So we have Abba, Ga, Da, Wa, Za, or Salakia. Abba, Ga, Da, Ha, Abba, Ga, Da, Salakia. This one character. Okay, Abba, Ga, Da, Ha. Just like that. And we have a Wa, Za, Ka, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa. Okay? These are some of the first characters in the Assyrian. Now, the only additional thing in the Assyrian Hebrew, right, versus the Lashawan Qadash, is Assyrian actually has 5 characters that have 2 different symbols. Okay? What's the word? Matazarium. So, for example, we have a Ma, Tazar, Yam. Okay. Matazarium is the biblical name for the Egyptians. Okay? Now, when you write it out in Assyrian Hebrew, you'll see we have the Ma character, right? The Ma. This is the Ma character in the Assyrian. It has 2 different symbols. So we would write it out like this. We have Ma, Tazar, Ya. Now, what you'll notice is all of these characters, right, transfer from here. We have the Ya, right? This Ya character is the same as this, right? Ma, we have a Ma. But you'll notice when we write out Matazarium is at the end of the word, we use the second symbol. Okay? When you're doing Assyrian Hebrew, there's 5 characters where anytime these characters are at the end of a word, you want to use that second character. Okay? So this Ka here, if you have a Ka at the end of the word, use the second character. If the Ka is anywhere else in the word, you would use the first character. Okay? That's important to understand, especially for young brothers who have joined the school. You're learning the Lashawan Qadash. Knowing the difference is very important. Okay? You want to learn to teach your people the Hebrew. Okay? Be able to teach brothers and sisters out in the streets the truth of the Bible. Okay, these little small details are very important. Okay. So we'll finish up the rest of the alphabet. We left off with Sa. After Sa, we have I. We have an I. Pa. To Za. Kwa. Ra. Sha. And a Tha. Okay. So the 5 characters that have 2 symbols, you have a Ka, Ma, Na, Pa, to Za. Okay. You want to know the difference. Okay. So today's class, we're going to go over grammar. Okay, the definition of grammar. If you're Black, Hispanic, or Native American and you want to understand the Bible better, something so simple you can do is learn the English language. Okay, or if your Bible's written in Spanish, learn the Spanish language. Okay. If you pick up a 1611 King James Bible, that Bible was translated into English. Okay, King James, who was a Black man, he got together some of the greatest scholars that he knew at the time, okay, so that they could translate Hebrew into English. Okay. It is not mandatory for you to speak Hebrew fluently to understand the Bible. We have people who already translated it for us. But what is important is that you understand the English language, understand definitions of words so that you can understand what it is you're reading. Okay? A good source that we use in the I.S.U.P.K is a Zondervan Pictorial Bible Dictionary. Okay, you can go ahead and buy yourself one. That gives you definition of words. So when you're reading the book of Numbers chapter 10, and you don't know what a word means, you can look it up and read it. Okay? You don't understand what a garment is, so you put fringes on the bottom of your shirts. Pick up a dictionary and learn what the definition of a garment is. That way you can understand our culture better and understand what the translators were talking about when they wrote it in English. Okay? Last hint, Black people speak in parables. Okay? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we speak in parables all the time. The Bible is riddled with parables. Okay? Even Christ told his disciples, I speak in parables so that people won't understand. Right? It was for a specific people to understand what it is he was speaking about. Okay? Only people who came from the Lord understood what he was speaking about and had that spirit. Okay? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we speak in parables. Right? When you read the book of Revelation and it says Satan, who is the devil and the dragon, doesn't mean a snake turned into some red-looking demon and then it started flying around like a dragon. Okay, this is a parable. Okay, we got to understand the English language to better understand the Bible. Black people speak in parables. That's how the Bible was written. Okay, so today we're going to get into grammar. The definition of grammar, let's use the Merriam-Webster's dictionary. The definition of grammar is the study of the classes of words, their inflections and their functions and relations to the sentence. I'll give the second definition. It says a study of what is to be preferred and what avoided in inflection and syntax, the characteristic system of inflections. Okay, I like this one, a system of rules that defines the grammatical structure of a language. Okay, the English language has a structure because the Lashawan Qadash, our language, has a structure. Okay, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans weren't monkeys walking around naked in a jungle, flying from tree to tree. We had a language. Okay, we had a civilization. Thou shalt not kill. And if you kill a man, your life shall be taken. That is law, judgment. Okay? In Canada, if you take a man's life, you will be judged. There's a penalty. That's how you create a civilization. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans invented civilization. Okay? That is who we are. We have laws and we have judgments, penalties for living a certain way. We couldn't just be barbarians living in the wilderness doing whatever we wanted. Okay? Our language has structure. And one of the structures that's extremely important in our language, okay, is understanding prefixes and suffixes. Okay, these are things that connect words to form sentences in our language. And when you read different sentences in the Lashawan Qadash, you're going to see these prefixes and suffixes all throughout our scriptures, okay, all throughout our history books and our records. So for today, depending on the time, we'll see how far we get. Let's just go over prefixes, okay? You can call it a prefix. You can call it a preposition. Okay? That root word pre is in there, meaning something that comes before. What I'm going to do is put up, and I advise you if you're tuned in and you're taking notes, I'm going to put up every prefix that we find in the Lashawan Qadash. Okay? So this is the A character. Okay? We pronounce this A. Okay? In the Assyrian, it would look like this. Okay? A. What this word means in Hebrew is I or I am. Okay? 2022, some people say I'm. Okay? All means the same thing. When you see this preposition before a word, it means I or I am. Okay? I'll give you one example. We have a, par, yum. Okay? As you go through the Hebrew a little more, you'll start seeing things similar. You'll start noticing yum is at the end of a lot of words. Okay? Yum is letting you know something is plural. Okay? We have a par yum. Okay? This is what this word means. It means fruitful. Okay? So we have root words that are in Hebrew. And then we have prefixes and prepositions. And as you start learning to identify root words in the Hebrew, you'll notice that surrounding the root word, you have suffixes, you have plural, you have future tense, past tense, present tense, right? Like present tense meaning I'm doing, right? Doing. You have a verb to do, right? You'll start noticing different characters that let you know what tense we're in, if something's plural, if it's masculine, feminine, okay? And then we also have prefixes and prepositions, okay? Now, this preposition means I or I am. So in Hebrew, when you see a par yum, okay, we have fruit, full, and we have the preposition I or I am, okay? In English, if we put this together, we would say I am fruitful. This is how we form sentences in the Hebrew. Okay? So what I'll do is I'll put up all the prefixes and prepositions, and then I'll give some examples on how we form these words. So we have we have ba, da, ha, wa, Salakia, prepositions. Prepositions. We have ba, da, ha, wa. Okay, we'll start off with these. So ba, right, is pronounced like this. Ba. Da is like this. Ha and wa. Okay. We have a ba, and da, ha, and a wa. Okay. So ba, when you see this preposition, it means in. Da means do. Ha means the. And wa is and. Okay. So in English, right, when you're learning English, we have certain rules in the English language. Okay. And your English teacher is going to tell you these are things that you just have to know. Okay. This is like the Hebrew as well. There's some things that you want to learn and study. These are things that you have to know if you want to be able to understand a full sentence in the Hebrew. Okay, so we have ba, da, ha, and a wa. Okay, means I or I am. Ba means in. When you see that da character, it means do. When you see ha, it means the. When you see wa, it means and. Okay? These are things that you just want to know. Okay? Because you're going to see this in damn near every sentence that you read in Hebrew. Okay? This is how we form sentences. Okay, so we left off with, we had wa up there, which means and. The last couple that we have a ka, la, ma, a sha, and a tha. Okay. Ka, la, ma, sha, and a tha. Okay. These are all of our prefixes that we see. Okay. Ka in the Assyrian. Okay, looks like that. And because this is a prefix, pre meaning before, right? We'll use the first ka character, okay, because it's not at the end of a word. Okay, we have la. Looks like that. We have a ma. We have a sha. And tha. Okay. And then I'll put up what each of these mean in English. Okay, we have ka, which in English means as or like. La means to. Ma is of or from. Sha is whom, which. Whom, which, or pertaining to. And tha means thou or thee. Okay, thou or thee. Again, in 2022, we would say you. Okay. And we have one more preposition. There's one more, which is a ya. Okay. This is the last one. Ya means it or he. Okay. So what we'll do now is I'll give you a couple examples. On how we can put these prepositions with root words. Okay. So we have a word a, ra, taza. Okay. We'll do one more. Let's use this word tawa. Tawa. Okay. So this root word here, right, as we're reading Hebrew, we always read right to left. So we have an ah. Okay, we have the ah sound, character. Then we have a ra. And then we have a tazah. Okay, tazah. Ah, ra tazah. This word right here means earth. Okay. This word right here means earth. To brothers in the school, brothers and sisters who are in the I.S.U.P.K, when we're saying the Lord's Prayer, we say this all the time. This word arataza. Okay. We say arataza, earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Okay. Arataza is earth. In the Lord's Prayer, we say ba arataza. Okay. Ba arataza. So preposition meaning pre, we want to put the ba before the root word. Okay. And now we have ba arataza. Okay. We added the ba in front. And now we're forming a sentence. Okay. The preposition ba means in. So if you see this ba before a word, it's letting you know it means in. Okay, we say in the Lord's Prayer, in earth as it is in heaven. Ba arataza. Okay. The second word we have up here. Now you'll notice something different. Okay, when you're reading Hebrew, the way you know how to pronounce a word is according to these connectors. Okay, they let you know what syllable to use when you're reading a word. Okay, so we have here, we have a ta, we have a wa, and we have a ba. Okay. This is how you pronounce each of these characters. Ta, wa, ba. Okay? Now you look at these connectors, you'll notice that when you have these connectors facing upwards, you don't drop any syllables. Okay? Like you'll notice in this word ba'arataza, all of these connectors face up. Okay? So when we spelt this word and we pronounce this word, we put the ba, ra, taza. Okay? That's how you pronounce the full word. Ba'arataza. Now here you'll notice that this connector is connecting these two characters together. Okay? We have a wa and a ba. All you simply do is, when you see this connector connecting two characters, you're going to drop the syllable of the last character. Okay? So instead of saying ta wa ba, we drop the syllable of the ba. Okay? We drop the syllable of that last character that's connected. So we don't say ta wa ba, we say tawab. Okay? Tawab in English means good. Okay? this is how we would best translate the word tawab. Okay, understanding that not all Hebrew words are so easily translated into English. Okay, sometimes you have to explain it a little bit to get a better definition. But the best translation we have of tawab is good. Okay. If somebody were to say, Ayak Shalamka, somebody is asking you, how is your peace? Right? You can say Shalom Ya, right? Shalom Ya, it means my peace. Tawab. Shalom Ya Tawab. My peace is good. Okay, that's how you can greet a brother and sister. Tawab means good. Now for a preposition, let's add in the da character. Okay? We add in the prefix da. Okay, if you have notes, you can look up in your notes what da means as a preposition. Okay, let's go through our notes. And we see that da means do. Okay? So we're now starting to form a bigger sentence, okay? Tawab is good. Da tawab means do good. Okay, Ba'arataza means in earth. Da tawab means do good. Okay. Wa, ha, tha, ha, ra. Okay. Here's a couple examples of some different words. Okay. So up here we have a ha, ma, lock, right? Again, you notice these two connect, so we drop the syllable of the ka. So we have ha, ma, lock. And again, we drop the syllable of the tha, so we have wa. Okay? Hamalakwath. Okay? We have a root word, malak. Okay? Malak can mean an angel or messenger. Okay? We're adding in, right? This word is giving more of a plural sense, right? Hamalakwath. So the way that we translate malakwath into English, right, is multiple powers. What do you get from that? You get a kingdom. Okay? Malakwath is kingdom. Allah. Allah is power. Okay, let's write this down. We have Waha. Okay, Allah. Let me write all these down first. Waha, Allah. Allah, I'm pretty sure that's power. Allah means power, right? Singular. Okay. This is where the word God comes from. Okay. Right. We have Allah. This is actually as well where Muslims get the name of their God, Allah. They call him Allah because they don't understand Hebrew, just like the rest of the world, right? In Yiddish, you might see El, right? El. And then if it's plural, they would say Elohim. Okay, but in proper Hebrew, it's Allahayim, right? Allahayim. I forgot how to spell that. Allahayim. Allahayim. Okay, I believe it's like this. Allahayim. Okay. It has that root word Allah. Okay, Allah is just singular power. Allahayim means multiple power. Okay, which we translate to God in English. Okay. Put God singular. And then this last word here, we have Wa, Ha, Tha, Pa, Arath. Okay. Tha, Pa, Arath. Arath is glory. Okay. Thapa Arath means glory in English. Okay. So now these are some examples. Now you'll notice in the Hebrew, sometimes our words look a little long. Okay. And the reason they look longer is because, right, we have things like wath, right, where we're adding, we're giving a word plurality, right? We have suffixes and we have prefixes, okay? So when you're reading Hebrew, you might read 3 words, and in English you have read like 10 different words, okay? Malakwath, okay, this one's pretty simple. You'll notice we have one preposition here, okay? We have that preposition ha, okay? Anytime you see ha before a word, right? Before, comes before the other word, it means the, okay? We have this word here, Allah, okay, which means power, singular. Now, something that we can also do in the Hebrew, you can add 2, 3 prepositions before a word, okay? So you'll notice here, right, we have the root word Allah, and we actually have 2 prepositions, okay? It's okay to do that in the Hebrew. Okay, we have wa and we have ha. Like we saw up here, Ha means the. Okay, Hamalakwath is the kingdom. Ha Allah. Okay, if you drop the wa and just said Ha Allah, it would just mean the power. Okay. You take a look in your notes that we just did, right? What does that wa preposition mean? It means and. Okay. A saying that we have in the I.S.U.P.K, Barak Atha Yahweh Wa Yahweh Shai. Barak means bless. Atha means you. Yahweh is the name of the Most High. Yahweh Wa Yahweh Shai. When you see Wa, it means and. Okay? And a lot of our prayers in Israel, we say Wa Yahweh Shai and Christ. Okay? Down here, right? Again, we have two prepositions. Okay, we can put these together just like we did up here. Same thing. Wa is and, ha is the. Tha pa'arath, and the glory. Now, the words we're using as we're going through this, these words come from the Lord's Prayer. Okay? We had Arataza, Ba'arataza, in earth. Waha Allah, and the power. Wahatha Parath, and the glory. Right? These are words we see in the Lord's Prayer. Okay? And these words have prepositions all throughout the prayer. Okay. So what we're going to do, okay, those were prepositions. We're doing good for time. What we'll do now is go over suffixes. Okay? So we just went over some words that go before root words. Yeah. Now we're going to go over words that we put at the end of words. Okay? I'll move through this one a little more quickly. Okay? Okay? So we're switching up. So first we did words that were before. Now we're doing words that come after. Okay, quick shout out to the chat. Shalom to Noah, Yahweh Shema Thamba Shemi Shai, and shalom to Officer Baraki Allah, Yahweh Shema Shai Barakatha. The water for tuning in. Okay, so we went over some prepositions. Now we're going to go over possessive words. Okay. I'll put beside these characters how you pronounce this, how you pronounce these words. And then I'll put the English beside it. Now, something that's important, right? Understand, we're doing words that come after root words now, okay? For example, if you see the Yah character at the beginning of a word, right? That Yah character means it or he. These are words now that come after a word. So if you see that Yah character at the end of the word, it doesn't mean it or he. It means something different. Okay, these suffixes or possessive words, these words give possession to a word. It lets you know who or what belongs to who. Okay? What object or thing belongs to who. Okay? These prefixes that we go through and suffixes, these things give context to a sentence. Okay? So just like we took notes of the prefixes, okay, I advise you, if you want to learn your language, take notes of the suffixes. Okay, these are things you want to study, you want to learn. These are all the suffixes that we have. Okay? So ka means you or your. Wa means he or his. Ha means her. And nawa means our. Okay? I'll give you two quick examples, okay, of possessive words. Just how you see that they're different from prefixes. Okay, now we're doing words that come at the end. So let's take this word Yah. We can say the word we went over earlier, Abba. Okay, Abba means father. Now let's add this possessive word at the end of the word. Okay, we now have Abba Yah. Okay, this is how we pronounce it. Abba Yah. What does this mean? Abba means father. Yah, right? Yah as a suffix means my, right? Abba Yah means my father. Okay? Actually, I'll give another example, right? Because understand that all these possessive words, right, are interchangeable, right? These give possession to a word. So we have Abba, right? Like we just said, Abba Yah means my father. All right, let's keep using Abba. We have Abba Ka, right? We have Abba Ha. We have Abba Nawa. Okay? Abba Yah, my father. Abba Ka means your father. Abba Ha means her father. Abba Nawa means our father. Okay? Just as we were going over earlier, different words in the Lord's Prayer. What do we say when we start off the Lord's Prayer? Abba Nawa Yahweh. Okay? Our Father who art in heaven. Okay? Okay, let's put up some more suffixes. Okay, again, these words always come at the end of a word. So we have Nawa, which is our. We have Kam. Kam, we have Kam, we have Khan, Ma, and Na. Okay? These are all the suffixes that we see. Okay? So when you see the word Kam, okay, or the Ka and the Ma, right, together at the end of a word, it means you all. Okay? Okay? You all. Kam is plural for masculine. Okay? So if you said Abba Kam, okay, that means you're speaking to multiple men or multiple boys. And we're saying all of your father, or you guys over there, your father, y'all father, right? Kam is for masculine. Now, when we say Khan, same thing, except this is feminine, okay? In Hebrew, we are not confused between genders, okay? We have masculine, we have feminine, we have hierarchy. The hierarchy in the Israelite culture is that the man is more important. The man comes first. The man is above. So I say that to say, if you're speaking to, let's say, a group of 5 children, and out of those 5 children, 2 of them are boys and 3 of them are girls. The correct, what would be grammatically correct for the Hebrew is to say Abba Kam. Okay? If there's 1 boy and there's 4 girls, you would still use Kam. Okay? Because in Israel, the man always has authority. You could have a man who has 100 children. If you're speaking to 1 boy and 99 girls, you are still saying Kam. Okay? If it's 5 girls, you say Khan. 2 girls, Khan. 3 girls, Khan. Abba Khan. Okay? Khan is denoting we're speaking to a group of women. Okay? Kam is for a group of men. It can also include a group of men and women. Okay? Then we have the suffix ma. Okay? Ma means there. And so does na. It means there. And once again, we have plural. One is masculine. One is feminine. Okay? So if you see a na at the end, right? Abba na, it means those girls over there, their father. Abba na, those 2 girls' father. You see Abba ma, those 2 boys' father. Or those 2 boys and that sister, their father. Okay? Ma is masculine, na is feminine. Okay? These are all the different possessive words that we have in the Lashawan Qadash. Okay. So we got all our prefixes down. We got all our suffixes down. Okay. Now let's try some practice. Okay. These are some words. Okay. These are some different Hebrew words. Okay. These are root words. Okay. We have the root word fight. Okay. These are some root words that we have. Let's do some examples, okay, of putting prepositions and possessive words attached to these words, okay? So we have fight, lakam, right? Right, lakam means to fight. Something that you might tell your family member or tell a brother, okay? For example, Christ told us if you have an ought with your brother, you're a sister, you have an ought with your sister, go to him and him alone. Resolve that issue with that brother and sister, okay? You're talking with somebody by themselves. Bring them aside and let the other people that are around them know, right? This is my fight. Okay, this is my battle. This is between me and my brother. Okay? Lakamia. Or you could say, this is his fight. Right? You could say, lakam. Use the possessive word wa, which means his. Okay? Right? You're a sister, you see two men fighting or arguing, right? Two brothers going over scriptures with one another, right? You say, lakamwa. This is his fight. You're a sister. You don't need to get a part of that fight. Okay? Let the brothers work it out. Okay, let's try putting a preposition and a possessive word together. Okay? So again, we have lakam. Okay, lakam is fight. We could say let's do Nawa. Okay. Nawa is our. You can put and in front of it. Okay. And what we're saying, and, right? Maybe in a full sentence, we would say, and this is our fight. Okay? In the Hebrew, a lot of words are implied. Okay? Because in the Hebrew, we're very direct. Okay? You could take out this and just say, and our fight, right? That makes sense. You can still understand what it means. Okay? You're going to see words like this as you're reading in the Hebrew. Okay? So don't be afraid when you see a long word and think it's one word that you've never seen before. Just go to your prepositions, go to your possessive words, right? And you'll just see that we're forming sentences. Okay? Wa lakam nawa. Okay? And our fight. Ha-kara. Okay? We have our root word, which is to cut. Okay? We add in the preposition the cut. Right? You could put in wa as a preposition and say and the cut. Okay? We can add in three prepositions. We could say wa, I think it's da, ha, kara. Okay? These words are starting to look a little longer. Go to your notes. What are we saying? And do the cut. Okay? So again, don't be afraid seeing a bunch of prepositions before or possessive words at the end of a word. Okay? Open, right? Open is a verb. You could say I-pathak, a-pathak, right? A-pathak. I, root word, open. Okay? We have to ask, qua'al, right? You could say tha, qua'al. What does tha mean? Means thou. Okay. Tha qua'al. Thou inquire. Okay. All right. And people who speak English today, we don't go around saying thou, right? We say you. Okay. It means the same thing. You inquire or you ask. All right. So those are some examples of using prepositions and prefixes. Okay. Make sure you got those in your notes. What we'll do to end the class out is we'll go over some grammar. Okay. And these are we'll go over some vocabulary. And these are some words that you can put together. These are some words that you can put together with those prepositions and possessive words that you learn. Okay? This is something that we commonly use. Okay, these are words that we commonly use. Good to take down in your notes. Okay, these are some words that we use for our finances. All right. So the word bank in Hebrew is banah. Okay, the word debts, right? We see that word in the Lord's Prayer, kawabwath. Now, okay, kawabwath. Kawabwath. Ka'ab Wath. Okay, Ka'ab Wath is debts. The word free is kapashya. Ka, pash, ya. Kapashya is free. The word gain in Hebrew is rawak. Okay? As you're writing these down, if you're taking notes, very important to get down these connectors correctly. Okay? Because if these connectors are in different places, you're going to be pronouncing the word wrong. Okay? And if you're speaking to somebody in Hebrew and you say, tawaba, someone's going to look at you sideways and say, what are you saying? Right? Nobody's going to understand what tawabwa is. If you say tawab, people understand. Okay? You say yapa. Yapa means beautiful. If you say yapaha, people are going to look at you sideways. Okay? The last word give or to give is nathan. Give, nathan can also mean gift. Yeah. Give, gift is nathan. Okay, those are some words that you can take down. If you want to practice on your own, see how you can use those prepositions and possessive words together. All right. To see how you can form sentences. Okay, see how you can put different words together. Okay, another thing you can also do is you can go to some of the Hebrew texts, right? And you can start to look out root words. And if you see a root word, and then you see a bunch of characters surrounding it, look in your notes. Okay? You have prepositions, you have possessive words. More than likely, one of those characters, okay, are a preposition or possessive word. Okay? And if it's not a preposition or possessive word, it's speaking about something plural. It could be a future tense, past tense, present tense. Okay, there's a couple other rules in the Hebrew that are important to learn. Okay, but for the most part, you're going to see prepositions all over. Okay. All right, like bank, right? Banak means bank. Banak ya means my bank. Banak ya nawa means our bank, right? You use these different prepositions and possessive words, and you can go ahead and form some sentences. Okay? So with that, we're going to end our Thursday night Lashawan Qadash class. Okay? We're going to end our Lashawan Qadash class. I'm going to give the security announcements, and then we'll salute out. Okay? We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. These are our security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. They need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months to which a brother and sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find it in Numbers 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 to 10. Ma'ashara means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, freewill offering for priests is not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. Salakia, we have, Salakia, bear with me. I believe it's might be the memorial of blowing of trumpets. Give me 1 second. Salakia, bear with me. Salakia means excuse me. Please forgive me. Okay. The next high holy day, Salakia again. The next holy day that we have coming up is going to be Sunday, the 25th of September. It is the memorial of blowing of trumpets. It is the first day of the 7th month. Okay? You can read about the memorial of blowing trumpets in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 24 to verse 25. Okay? To any brother who wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. With that said, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers, men of Israel, I.M.A.D.I.M, which means stand in the Hebrew. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers, men of Israel, I.M.A.D.I.M Shabbat, I.M.A.D.I.M, Barak, Yah Ba'ashim Yashar Barakatham. To all the brothers, Yad Yamatah, Sar means turn. We're going to turn and face the sisters and give them one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, I.M.A.D.I.M Shabbat, I.M.A.D.I.M, Barak, Yah Shemal Athan Ba'ashim Yashar, Yad Yamatah. Class dismissed. All right, I'm going to put the sign out links in the chat if you've signed in. Make sure you hit those sign out links. All right, Shalom, Israel.
And bringing skipping, have your respect to your oppressor. He vouched your business, his loyalty, and damn sinners, look. Trying to pick up with a blind foot. They said there'll be many mansions, I'm just grinding for my time share. The devils and clan fair, they hunt you like bad pal. But ain't no getting out the game like you mungy. You take that office a bandit, they try to deal death to a priest. You won't make it out in one piece, so you can stand. Just make sure you got the heart, say your name 3 times, and it's step to his heart. So how you feel about this truth out the show? This ain't the like you think, nigga. I should want even your own people go this home. And I know I said they hate you for my name. Now you better keep it on. Ain't no more